Good morning students and welcome back in our video lecture with the same topic, air. So in my previous video lecture we have studied about air pollution, what are the causes of air pollution and what are the preventive measures for air pollution. Now we are going to study about presence of air in water and presence of air in soil. So what do you think students, is there air in water? Yes, air is present everywhere, as like that air is also present in water. So the most common example to prove this that air is present in water is aquatic animals. You all know aquatic animals means what? Aquatic animals means the organisms which live in water. So you all know animals and plants both require oxygen for their survival. As they live in water, as they survive underwater, it means that they get oxygen from water. So these fish, aquatic animals, plants, this breathe in oxygen which is in dissolved state in water through their gills. Plants which float in water have stomata on the upper surface of lip through which they take air in, they take in air. So plants which are submerged in water, submerged means what? They are just they are underwater, like tape grass, do not have stomata but they take oxygen which is in dissolved state through their body surface. These examples prove that there is air in water and that oxygen is in dissolved state in water. So one activity is there in your textbook that proves that air is present in water. So that activity is you have to take water. You can also do this activity at your home. This is very simple activity. Just take water in a bowl or in beaker or in pot. Then just heat that water. Heat the water slowly. Then what will happen? You will see that much before the water begins to boil, tiny bubbles appear on the inner side of that beaker or pot. These bubbles are come from the air dissolved in water. Actually, what happens, student? When we heat that water, the solubility of air in water decreases. As a result, the air dissolved in water comes out in the form of tiny bubbles. And when the dissolved gas get removed through heating and the same water is heated again after some time, then you will observe that then bubbles will not form again and the water begins to boil and turns into vapor. So this activity proves that as bubbles comes out, it means water air is present in that water. So next point is presence of air in soil. As like water, air is also present in soil. To prove this, one more activity is there in your textbook. Also this activity you can do at your home. You have to take some soil and just put the take some dry garden soil and pour water into beaker. In this case also you will see bubbles coming out from the soil, and these bubbles appear because water pushes the air out of the space between particles of soil. You all know soil particles are close to each other, but they are not compactly arranged with each compactly arranged. These particles have little gap between them, and in this gap air is present. So this activity shows that soil contains air. It is trapped within the spaces between the soil particles. So animals that lives in soil like earthworms. You all know earthworms lives in soil. So from where they get oxygen? So these animals like earthworm normally live in soil. They just get oxygen from the air which is in soil. So earthworms normally live in soil. They come out of the soil only during heavy rain. Why, student? What do you think? Why earthworms comes out from this soil in a during heavy rain? Because when there is heavy rain, then what will happen? This water seeps into the soil, and the space between soil particles get filled with water. That's why these earthworms will not get oxygen for their survival, and they comes out of the soil. This is the reason behind it. As there is no air, so that earthworms, there is no air for respiration of that earthworm, they comes out of the soil. Also plants require oxygen for their growth, and these plants get oxygen from, means root absorb water, and along with this water also they get oxygen which is present in between soil particles. So these two activities and these examples proves that air is present in water and also air is present in soil. So plants like mangroves which grow in water, waterlogged soil, have roots that grow out of the soil to get air. This is the example. Because this soil is waterlogged, so as this soil is waterlogged, there is no air between soil particles, because that gap is filled by water. That's why these plants have roots that grow out of the soil and get air for their survival. So these are the 2 points. So next point is balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in nature. Students, you all know oxygen is present in 21% in air and carbon dioxide is present in that remaining 1% consists of carbon dioxide also. So these two gases are very important for survival of all living organisms. Why students? Because we all, means human beings, animals and plants, also require oxygen for the process of respiration. What is respiration? Respiration is the process in which we take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. Then what is the importance of carbon dioxide? All plants prepare their own food with the help of photosynthesis, and the photosynthesis is the process in which carbon dioxide is utilized by plants, and by taking that carbon dioxide, instead of that carbon dioxide, plants give oxygen to us, which is required for our survival. So how this oxygen and carbon dioxide get balanced in nature? So animals inhale oxygen from the air and exhale carbon dioxide which goes into the air. Plants also use oxygen for respiration. So all living things including plants also require oxygen. They just take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide during the process of respiration. Then green plants use carbon dioxide from the air for making food by the process of photosynthesis during day. You all know what is photosynthesis, the process in which plants can prepare their own food with the help of carbon dioxide, sunlight, chlorophyll, pigment and water. And for this process plants just take in carbon dioxide and they give out oxygen in return which goes into the air. The process of respiration takes place during day as well as night. So as like us, plants also respire, means plants also require oxygen for their respiration, and plants require carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. But the oxygen released during photosynthesis is more than the oxygen used in respiration. So as plants require oxygen in respiration, they give out lot of oxygen in the process of photosynthesis. Therefore, there is net release of oxygen in the atmosphere. Also, burning fuel like petrol, wood, coal uses oxygen. So I told you all the process for means whatever we burn for burning, for heating, that all materials require oxygen, because oxygen is the gas which helps for burning. So in this process of burning or combustion, all things, petrol, diesel, wood, they require oxygen from the air and give out carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide just mixes in the air. So in this way, a respiration by living organisms and burning of fuel by humans require oxygen and release carbon dioxide, and plants use this carbon dioxide for the process of photosynthesis and give out oxygen. In this way, plants and animals help in maintaining the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in nature. And this example shows that there is interdependence between plants and animals in nature. So this is balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in nature. I hope you understood What is balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide? Means amount of oxygen and carbon dioxide get balanced, because both these gases are very important for survival. Then I want to tell you some extra information related to this means in my previous video lecture we have studied about air pollution. So what is Bhopal means, have you heard about Bhopal gas tragedy? So the Bhopal gas tragedy was an industrial disaster. It took place at the Union Carbide subsidiary pesticide plant in the city of Bhopal, India, on 3rd December 1984. The plant released 42 tons of toxic methyl isocyanate gas. So which gas is released during Bhopal tragedy? The name of that gas is methyl isocyanate, and this gas was very poisonous, and that's because of this exposure of that gas 5 lakh people just exposed to this toxic gas, and about 8,000 people died within 2 weeks, and an additional 8,000 have since died of gas released related disasters. It is the world's worst industrial disaster. So remember the name of gas which get released in the Bhopal tragedy. What is the name of that gas? It's methyl isocyanate. Okay. Then last point is, what are the uses of air? We have discussed a lot related to uses of each gas which is present in air. So when we are talking about in general uses of air, this oxygen is used by all living things for respiration. Then oxygen is also necessary for burning of fuel. Then compressed air is used for inflating tires of bicycles, scooters, cars and buses. Also air is used in balloons, football, etc. So moving air is used for parachutes and gliders. Then moving air is also used to move blades of windmills and to draw water from the tube well to run floor mills, generate electricity. And wind helps in the dispersal of plant seeds. It also helps in pollination. So these are the uses of air. I hope you got all points related to presence of air in water, presence of air in soil, then balance between oxygen and carbon dioxide, and uses of air. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Thank you.